There have been 29 different loot boxes in Brawl Stars history. Some of them amazing and some not so great. But today we're going to take a look back at each one to see the evolution of boxes from the first day of beta to present day and even into the future. When the game launched back in 2017, there was only one loot box that you could get, and it was the main way of unlocking brawlers and leveling them up. Now, it took 100 coins to open a single Brawl box, or you could buy one for 10 gems, and inside of it, you could get three things. You could get a new brawler, Elixir, which is what you use to level the brawler up instead of coins and power points like now, or you could also pull the same brawler that you already had, which is just a duplicate brawler, and it would give you chips instead of that brawler. You could then spend those chips to purchase the brawler that you did want if you had enough. And if you have enough, you can buy the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. This is the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, and to say that it is awesome would actually be a massive understatement, because if you look and hold this thing closed, it feels like a normal slab phone at 6.5 inches. It feels like something that you're used to, and you can use it like that, but for multitasking, watching content, playing games, or many other things, this large screen, when it's open, is actually amazing. And it's because of how thin and light this is that when it's closed, it just feels normal, and it's hard to convey, but if you hold this in your hand, you would be shocked at how thin it actually is. It's honestly kind of hard to believe. And you would think that because it's so thin that Samsung had to make a bunch of compromises. Yeah, but no. The Z Fold 7 has a Snapdragon 8 Elite processor in it, which means that it has all of the power and the speed to drive both of these screens, and it is beyond awesome. It's actually unbelievable what they've done, and you really ought to go check it out for yourself. The link is in the description. Big thanks to Samsung and the Z Fold 7 for sponsoring today's video and partnering with my channel. Now, a few updates later, they added 4 new boxes. The first was the big box, and this one was pretty simple as it was just 10 normal Brawl boxes in one, but you could buy them for 80 gems while getting 10 boxes, so it was a better deal. These were also the boxes that I pulled my first legendary brawler Crow from, and yes, I kissed my iPad, and yes, it was a little cringe, but no, I'm not sorry. Still my favorite brawler, and I was just that excited. However, if you wanted to forego the luck component completely, you could buy the next 3 boxes. These were brawler specific boxes, and buying one of these would reward you with a random brawler of that rarity. So if you bought a super rare box, you got a super rare brawler. Buy an epic box and you get an epic brawler, and so on. Now, I never really bought these because gambling, but later on they also added a mythic brawler box when mythics were introduced into the game. Now, these boxes stayed in the game for quite some time until they were removed and a whole new one was added, and this was the mega box. But actually no, not that one. They actually look like this instead. Now, inside of these, of course, you could get new brawlers, but by this point in the game, they had moved away from the Elixir upgrade, and they were using coins and power points just like they still are today. But one thing that you could get in them that they later removed was gems. Now, normally it was a pretty small amount, but nevertheless, you could get gems out of these boxes. Now, there were also a couple of old currencies in them, like key doublers and tickets. The tickets were used to play weekend events, just like the Robo Rumble and stuff. We play for free now, but you used to have to get tickets for them, and the key doublers actually gave you extra keys to open up more boxes. Again, it's a very old system that they used a long time ago. Now, in this time, they also introduced a new big box, which was the equivalent of 3 draws, where a mega box was the equivalent of 10 draws. Now, they did still have single Brawl boxes as well, where it was just worth 1 draw with a maximum of 4 items. Now, one interesting thing about these boxes and the old system of mega boxes is that your luck for pulling items, it was not a static chance. The more boxes you opened without getting something good, your odds actually increased of getting a good pull in the future. Now, these mega boxes actually stayed in the game for quite some time, but eventually they got a makeover to look like the mega boxes that most of you remember. That being said, what was in these mega boxes did change over time. At different points in the game, they included various things, like they changed the brawler specific power points to power points that could be used on any brawler. Later on, they contained gear scraps and tokens back when gears were first introduced, XP doublers, and more. But for the most part, the idea itself was left unchanged for a very long time. Now, there was one loot box of sort that came after this that wasn't technically a box. It was called a pin pack. Now, these were at the very end of the Brawl Pass, as well as in the shop on weekends, and they had a few different variations of them as well. Each one of them contained a set amount of pins, but the higher rarities gave a vastly higher chance for more rare pins. Ray was well known for buying these, trying to get his favorite pin, specifically a Mortis pin, but most people, they didn't really like these very much, and eventually they were removed completely. Then came the update where boxes were removed from the game entirely in favor of the new Star Road system. However, before they did that, they had a celebration of them and had a one-time event with a new box called the Omega Box. Now, this was supposed to be a massive box containing a huge amount of items. I mean, they looked cool, but they weren't quite as good as most people expected. They were equivalent to roughly 4 mega boxes or so many people thought that they were overhyped. But at least we got a free Daryl skin out of it. Now, if you're watching this in 2025, then I probably don't need to explain this to you too much, but just for posterity, in case it's the year 2060 when you're watching this, which if you are, how many new brawlers are in the game by now? Are we driving flying cars yet? And were the aliens here all along? Perhaps most importantly, are the kids still saying nonsensical things like Skibbity and Rizzler? Anyway, so you got awarded star drops for playing, and then you tapped on them and they had a chance to change rarities from rare to super rare, epic, mythic, and even legendary. The higher rarity you got, well, the better items you got. Usually that is. I mean, sometimes you get Panda Nita out of a legendary star drop and you just end up throwing your opponent against the wall, but you know, RNG, whatever. But the lower rarities always were some small amount of resources like power points, coins, or XP doublers, but epics, they often contain cosmetic items as well as a higher amount of resources. Mythics you could actually pull pretty good brawlers out of, star powers, gadgets, and skins as well. After hypercharges were released, they also added a hypercharge star drop that would give you a guaranteed random hypercharge. Also, quite a bit later, they even added specific rarity star drops like mythic and legendary star drops that were guaranteed to be that rarity when you open them up. Now, these star drops came to be the basis of what most loot boxes in the game were based on, and they gave us other ones like rank star drops, which contained either bling, pro pass XP, or a skin from the rank skin pool. We also got a lot of other variations of them as well, like the demonic and angelic star drops from the Demons vs. Angels special event. Inside, you could get the specific skins for that event, power-ups for the event, and a small chance, microscopic chance to pull a hypercharged skin for Mortis or Edgar. Now, they also packaged these star drops into other things, like during the Godzilla collab, they gave you monster eggs, which were basically a star drop, but you swiped it instead of tapping it. And it also gave you the event mutations for that special event during the collab, as well as resources and a chance to pull the very first hypercharged skin that they ever came out with, which was Godzilla Buzz, and the color variations that came along with it. The way that you got them was just by playing games, of course, but as always, you could just throw your money straight into the garbage disposal and buy some in the shop, which of course I did. Then the last repackaged star drop came during Christmas time or Brawlidays, and it was a present. And it worked exactly like a star drop did, but of course it looked like a gift. You could get various rarities, including legendary presents, but at its core, it was still just a star drop, just in a different wrapper. Pun intended. Now, I just mentioned that Brawl Stars had removed mega boxes, and they had. However, during the Classic Brawl event in 2024, they actually brought back mega boxes for a limited time, and you would think they would be awesome, and it kind of was, but it was also not the same as the old mega boxes. They were more like mega boxes from Temu. Like, they sort of looked the part, and you expected to get something awesome for the gems that you spent, only to realize that after giving your money to that shady company, waiting for weeks and weeks to get it, only to find out that that Jessie doll looked more like Sloth from the Goonies than Jessie herself. Wait, that was something else. Oh yeah, mega boxes. Yeah, they weren't the same. The rewards were vastly less, and the only real thing that they had going for them was nostalgia. I say that, but they did have a good amount of stuff in there, like coins, power points, XP doublers, bling, gems, cosmetics, and even new brawlers, but the rewards and the amount that you got for them was definitely on the lower side. But there were some boxes that did deliver, and that was the dead boxes. Now, in October of 2024, there was a special event where if the community reached 100 million deaths with Mortis, which is just like my randoms normally in Brawl Ball, everybody would get 2 dead boxes. And of course, naturally, you could also just well out and buy them. And of course, I once again did that as well, using code LEX. I mean, come on. I had to plug my code at least once in this video. Honestly, though, I do appreciate you guys very much if you use my code. Anyway, these boxes actually had quite a lot in them. They had everything that the Temu Mega Boxes did, but more. You could actually get star powers, gadgets, hypercharges, the special Brawloween skins as well. These ones were actually really good, and the only thing that they did not have in them were hypercharged skins, but there are some boxes in the game right now that do have those skins, and that's the trophy boxes. When Brawl Stars reworked the trophies, any trophies that you gained over 1,000 trophies goes towards your season trophies, and at the end of the season, when your brawlers get reset back to 1,000, the additional trophies that you gain, they go towards a trophy box. The more trophies you gain, the bigger box you get. Each one contained a skin, as well as a lot of other resources like bling, XP doublers, bling, pins, sprays, bling, profile icons, bling, and did I mention bling? There's a lot of bling in there. Now, the small trophy box is the lowest tier, which gives you 4 draws and a guaranteed rare skin. The big trophy box gives you a super rare skin with 8 total draws. The mega trophy box gives you 12 draws, but still only a guaranteed super rare skin, but with a chance for an epic skin. I mean, that chance is less than 1%, but I mean, there is a chance. The Omega Trophy Box has 16 draws and a guaranteed epic skin with a chance for a mythic skin, and then the granddaddy of them all is the Ultra Trophy Box, which has 20 draws and a guaranteed epic skin and a chance to get a mythic, legendary, or even a hypercharged skin if you pull that 0.23% chance to get it. So yeah, you're not getting it. Now, there was one loot box that was a bit different though, and that was the Power Mill. This appeared during the SpongeBob event, and like the other special events, the power-ups for the event were contained inside this loot box. However, unlike the other ones, this one only contained the power-up and nothing else. However, you couldn't buy a bunch of these loot boxes like the other events. You were limited to what was in the shop offerings that day, and that was it. They were, however, mainly packaged with other rewards in that Pizza Planet shop, so you could get other great things along with them, but the power meals themselves were just for the special abilities. The one that was a bit different though were the sushi. These were introduced during the Katana Kingdom event, and they contained a lot of resources as well as cosmetics, brawlers, and of course the skins for the event. Now, you would know if you got an event skin because the sushi would turn a gold color. Now, they functioned just like star drops in a way, but it was a totally different visual. When you're opening a star drop, if it upgrades, it goes from rare to super rare and so forth. But for these, if it upgraded, it actually split and gave you double what you just had. Now, this could keep splitting, giving you up to 8 sushi at a time. And that splitting was actually pretty controversial because to get the special skin from that event, it really relied on your luck in getting your sushi to split enough. And if you were unlucky, you didn't get the Kenji skin. That is, of course, unless you bought more with gems. Shocker. Also in the visual, if the sushi had a dollop of wasabi on top of it, then you knew you were going to get one of the special powers for that event. So then that brings us to current day with the boom boxes. Now, these are part of the Subway Surfers collab, and you get them by earning rails or playing games, or naturally, by buying them. Now, they do contain some pretty decent items though, like gems, bling, coins, power points, as well as special skins, including the chance for the hypercharged Poco skin. However, the drop rates and the amount of rewards in each box, it's not off the charts. I mean, they're good, but they're just not like amazing. Also not amazing are the brawler specific boxes for Ziggy and Mina. Now, these haven't been released as of the filming of this video, but I did open a bunch of them in the developers build for the sneak peeks. Now, the purpose of these is mainly to give you a chance to unlock the new brawler early for free. You get them by playing daily games with your tickets in the new brawler release event. If you win 28 of your 30 games, you get the new brawler for free, even if you don't get lucky, but everyone else, you'll just basically have a very small chance of getting the new brawler from these boxes. Now, aside from the brawler, there's actually some pretty cool skins in here as well, but they are very, very light on the resources, so I'd highly recommend that you not buy them because the chance of getting the new brawler is very low, and they're priced at 99 gems each, or at least they were in the dev build. If they keep that price, they are totally not worth it. And the final box that we know of that we're going to be getting are the pumpkin boxes that will be featured in the Brawloween 2025. Now, I also opened up a bunch of these in the developer build, and these ones are actually really good. They have pretty much everything that you could want out of a loot box. Skins, brawlers, resources, hypercharges, and much more. And the drop rates on them, while not confirmed at the time of me opening them, were very generous. So make no mistake, I will be opening a bunch of these when they come out. But what about the future? Well, Brawl Stars has actually mentioned a couple times that they're looking at developing something to replace or rework star drops. Now, what they have in store right now is unknown, but again, if you're watching this in 2060, then you already know. So let me know in the comments what they end up being. I mean, I'll probably be dead by then, but I mean, maybe they got the App Store in the afterlife. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. If you want to watch some gemming and open up the brand new pumpkin boxes that are coming, click right here. Or if you want to watch something else that YouTube thinks that you're going to like, then click on that video. I mean, it may be crap, I don't know, but I mean, give it a shot. You may like it, or just watch that one.